If your blush always looks like this, but you want it to look like this, girl, listen up, because this isn't cutting it anymore. Don't irritate me. Now pay attention. If you're still applying your concealer right after foundation, you're literally sabotaging your own makeup. That's why you always have that harsh line between your blush and your concealer, girl. So once you've applied a layer of your favorite foundation, skip the concealer and go straight into cream bronzer. Think of this like underpainting, but instead of doing it underneath your foundation, you're doing it underneath your concealer instead. And for cream blush, I'm using the House Labs blush in the shade Glassy Pomelo. I'm gonna use the small side of the Makeup by Mario F4 brush and use this to pick up the product. Applying your blush too low can leave your cheeks feeling droopy and actually make you look older. Instead, you're gonna apply this high up on your cheekbone, like really high up. Then you wanna look up and blend the blush directly into your under eyes. We're doing this for two reasons. One, because this is gonna help the concealer blend into the blush, making it look seamless. And two, because of the pink undertone of the blush, it's actually gonna help color correct any darkness in your under eyes, making them look way brighter. And once that's blended out, you can apply your favorite concealer. You always wanna focus all the brightness right in the center of your face. You're kind of faking a spotlight on your face like you're Beyonce on stage, but right now you're giving Michelle. But before you blend anything, you have to prep your powder puff with your loose powder first. This way you can set your concealer immediately after it's blended out. Because whoever told you to wait before setting your concealer after blending it out must have hated you. Now that your powder puff is prepped, use a concealer brush to blend out the edges and create a flawless blend between the blush and the concealer first. This is a Kosas brush. Technically, I think it's for powder, but it's amazing for concealer. You don't want the concealer to cover the blush. You want the concealer and the blush to marry together. And I'm not buffing the brush into my under eye. That's just gonna disturb the finish of the product. Instead, I'm tapping the brush up and down, almost like I'm using a beauty blender, but I'm using a brush instead. And after I use a brush, I like to switch to a clean damp beauty blender, and lightly I press this over my under eye to pick up any excess product that doesn't need to be there. Now you can switch to your already prepped powder puff and immediately set your concealer without even looking down. And this is how you get the smoothest under eye you've ever seen. With whatever powder is left on the puff that you just used, use this to set the rest of your makeup. You never want to apply pressed powder products over wet cream makeup because it's always gonna blend out patchy. And girl, powder blush is usually the first thing to fade off your face. So applying a powder blush over the cream blush will help it last all day long without any touch-ups. First, you wanna use a warmer tone blush. This is Cheeky Chili from MAC, and you wanna apply this high up on your cheekbones closer towards your hairline and going into your eyelid. Then you wanna grab a pinkier blush. This is the MAC powder blush in the shade Snob, and you wanna apply this on the front of your cheekbones, blending it into your under eyes. This is how you start to get that really blurred, face-tuned under eye. Even side by side, you can see how the pink blush made my under eyes look just a little bit softer and more blurred, whereas this side still looks a little bit unblended. Now to really make the under eyes look face-tuned in real life, grab your favorite pressed powder. I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush powder in the shade number 2, and pick it up with that same powder puff that you used earlier. Now take that same powder puff and press it into the pink blush you literally just used, and apply this on your under eye between your concealer and your blush to create a soft filtered blur. It's literally giving filter without the filter. Once you try this out, you're never gonna do your makeup any other way. I'm telling you, just try it out and tell me I didn't tell you so. You're welcome.